Whoa, 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 whoa. You're telling me that with no job, being unemployed, there's a way for anyone, let alone a teenager, to make up to $1,000 a day?
You again.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, I bet you've never seen me without glasses. I'm not going to wear them. I never wear them in the video, but that's what I look like while I'm working all day. Now, I don't actually have $1,000 in cash on me just because I never carry cash, so I'll be a little bit of a douche. Here is a Lamborghini key. And that signifies, I guess, your $1,000 a day as an example. What I actually want to talk about in this video is a lot bigger than just me. This is about an industry. This is about attacking an industry that you guys will be familiar with, something where you've heard of people making money. You've definitely seen it. You may know someone, in fact, who's making a lot of money in this specific industry. Now, the reason it's bigger than just me, and we talk a lot about e-commerce on this channel. I mean, I break down, I do like live challenges, making 100,000, explain stores doing $1 million in a month. I try to put as much out there as possible without really putting myself at risk, but it's so much bigger than me. And that industry that I'm talking about is e-commerce. So we're actually going to talk about something completely different in this video. It's something I've maybe talked about one time like 2 years ago. It's a very unique platform that I don't really talk about because I actually don't do it. So what I want to share with you in this video is how to do it, because I have a lot of close friends who still do this and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month by doing it. But it's a concept. It's something where you're going to be able to go do this across a multitude of platforms, whichever one kind of makes the most sense for you. And I mean, it's fairly simple to start making your first $100 a day. This is all I got in cash on me, all the way up to, 1,000, 2,000. There's not really a limit. So before we get into it, make sure to smash the like button. Let's try to break 1,000 likes on this. If we do, maybe I'll do a little bit more of like a live example type thing. But as we get into it, I want you to just kind of keep an open mind of, hey, any of my, preset notions about e-commerce or making money online, I'm going to kind of put those to the side, and I'm just going to listen to Hayden here. I know he doesn't have $1,000 in cash on him, but, let's take a little vote of faith here, okay? I've been doing e-commerce for a little over 3.5 years. I've produced millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. My companies will do about $30 million in revenue this year in 2020. That is strictly e-commerce, okay? I mean, maybe like a few million of that is not, but it is e-commerce based. That is the bulk of my income and what I do, okay? So what we're going to talk about in this video specifically is how you can get your feet wet inside of e-commerce. But like I mentioned, we're going to be taking a totally different angle from this, and that is eBay. Now, most of you might hear me talk about a platform called Shopify or WordPress. These are two completely different platforms that relate, okay? They're a certain type of e-commerce. eBay doesn't really relate to those too much, okay? Because those are more so hosting your own website, whereas eBay would better relate to Amazon in the sense that you're adding something onto a pre-existing platform, and your marketing strategy, which is the bulk of how you're going to get your sales, is going to be completely different when it's on something like eBay versus Shopify. So eBay is different in the sense that it has a ranking system. Since it's its own platform and it has its own, entire system of ranking products built, it is working off of an algorithm. So similar to when you're on Amazon and you're buying a product and it says frequently bought together, well, that's Amazon basing off of previous history and feedback from customers, which products they like and which ones they purchase together on average. So it's a series of averages. So the way we're going to talk about e-commerce inside of here is how one of my close friends actually started making about $400 a day within 60 days. He has now scaled that to about a $4,000 per day in revenue business that's doing about $800 to $1,000 a day in profit. Now, here's the really cool part about this. I don't even think his product is all that good because the margin is so low. So while that margin of 800 to 1,000 out of 4,000 might sound good, 20 to 25%, it's actually terrible It is disgusting for something like eBay or Amazon. Now for Shopify and more so what I do, that would be totally acceptable. That'd be fine because you have to factor in the marketing cost. But on a platform like eBay, it can be a great way to get started with e-commerce because there isn't necessarily a marketing expense. Because remember, they have their own algorithm and it's based on a ranking system. So you can do certain things to rank your products higher to start getting on, the third page, the second page. Eventually, maybe you're on the front page search for like men's luxury wallet, right? Maybe you have something that's on the first page for that. Well, it's just like being on Google. The higher you rank, the more people are going to go, which ultimately means the more people are going to buy. So I want to talk about a couple strategies in a moment, but before I do that, I want to share two things you're going to have to do that can kind of get the ball rolling, okay? This is something where I want to be as practical as possible because, for those of you who haven't done any sort of e-commerce, maybe you've tried a little bit of stuff and it hasn't worked and you're considering, jumping onto eBay or whatever it is. And, I'm not like advocating a certain platform over another. I don't own any partnership percentage of any of them or whatever. But it's just something where I've used them. I have extensive experience with them. And I know that there's just so much money to make with e-commerce. So I want to make this video so that you guys can start getting the ball rolling. It really doesn't matter how you choose to do that, okay? So this is going to go for anything you want to do related to e-commerce. Here's the two things. Number one, you need to determine what platform is the best for you. If you have a bigger startup budget, something like Amazon could make sense. I usually recommend and guide people to steer away from Amazon right away. Okay, just the amount of startup costs, the product inventory, going to be a little bit harder and a little bit slower when you're doing Amazon. And when you're starting something, you're going to be impatient. You're going to want to kind of see things happen quick. You're going to want to be in control of that. So Amazon, usually a little bit slower, usually a couple $1,000s of product cost, and you don't even know if you're going to sell any of it, okay? So I would try and steer towards something like Shopify, which is super beginner friendly, or eBay. Okay, just for this example, I'm going to talk more about eBay, but there's a great way to do this. Okay, so that's one. Now, the second thing you're going to want to do is identify what product you want to sell. Now, my friend is selling some sort of garden hose. I don't think he'd be upset if I said that because I'm not saying which one. But the problem is he's selling it for $49.99, but he's paying almost $30 to $33 to get the product. That's too much. You definitely want to make sure that your margin is to the point where you can basically be selling something for roughly 3 times what you're paying for it. So if I get it for 20, I want to sell it for 50, maybe even 60. If I'm spending $6 to get it, let's go sell it for 20 or 25. You want to kind of mark it up. You can go look and see what people price it at on Amazon or eBay and wherever, just to get a sense of the overall market price, but find that product. And my biggest recommendation to you when doing product research, and people ask me this all the time, what do I look for in a product? Look for that X factor. That's something that people would be like, wow. Like for an example, these that I was showing you, these are not prescription glasses. These are blue light blocking glasses. Like everything right now has an orange tint. It's not that expensive of a product. It's like $30, but there's that X factor. It actually helps me a lot because I'm in front of a screen most of the day. But when you were to show this to any regular person and you show them the science behind this, this is great for people who look at a device. Who looks at devices all day? You're watching this video, basically everyone. So it kind of has that X factor, right? People could validate buying it. So look at products, that's just an idea. You don't have to sell blue light glasses. I mean, you could, but there's just so many different products. Find an X factor, and that is going to be the main thing you're using in your marketing, right? So as you're starting to promote this product, as you're advertising it, that's how you're going to be pushing it. That's the main X factor, if that makes sense. Now, one quick tip, especially if you want to do eBay, a lot of it is ranking. So it's going to be slow. You have to start building up. You have to get those sales and learn how to rank. One thing I recommend you do is outside marketing. So for an example, you could have someone on Instagram post something, or you could, run Facebook ads to your eBay listing. And what's going to happen is if you can successfully start to get some sales, maybe 5-10 sales a week, when eBay or whatever platform you're using sees, and it has to be one of those platforms with their own algorithm, not like Shopify, they're not going to give a hoot, but Amazon or eBay would see that it's a new listing and it's starting to get sales, and this is key, it's starting to get good feedback. Well, they're going to view that as an abnormal success for a new listing. So they're going to start to promote it more and more. So they're going to help you push it because they need things to promote. It's like YouTube. They have to be able to promote stuff. By the way, drop a like down below. Help me do that. Good content that people like, they're going to push it up, right? It's really as simple as that. So you can kind of do the same thing and start to boost your own post. Even if you're breaking even or losing a little bit of money, it's something that I do see some of my friends who have mastered eBay. I'm talking millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. It is something that they do on new posts to kind of help boost them up. So that's just one idea of something that you could do. So my friend who's now doing a little bit over $100,000 a month in revenue, he found his product, his garden hose. I don't know where he found it. Is interesting product. You can sell whatever. Started a listing. He focused on getting good content for it. So one thing he did was ordered the product. He's always been into photography. So he ordered it himself and took some photos. You don't have to be a photographer just to do that. You could do that on your own with an iPhone, or you could even borrow someone's iPhone and you could take some good quality content so that you have kind of a unique angle of the product. Maybe try and splice together a video showing yourself using it. But he just took photos, just photos. That's it. He had good photos on his listing. He kind of watched a few YouTube tutorials on how to title things, how to set up descriptions, and kind of use some tags and keywords in there so that it would organically rank higher. So a few little things like that, doing a little bit of research, a little bit of back-end work, and being prepared, and then launching your e-commerce business is by far something that most people don't do, which blows my mind. They just throw up the crappiest looking blurry image with a random product, maybe some carbon fiber phone case, and they expect to be a millionaire overnight. Well, no, not to burst your bubble, because there's definitely people who make a crap ton of money really quick, but normally it's going to take some time. It's going to be a slow grind. It's going to be annoying. And anything you want to happen is just a rule of life. Usually will happen, but it will take longer than you had anticipated. So that's where it comes into being consistent and persevering through it. For me, I went broke twice when I was starting e-commerce. It took me 8 months to make my first $10,000 in a month, but that's totally okay because 8 months to build a successful business, that is not a lot of time when you look at the grand scope of business. Look at how long Amazon was unprofitable for like 14 years, so the apples and oranges here, you got to kind of, keep the other bigger perspective in mind, because just because you're starting an e-commerce business doesn't mean it's something that's not a business. It still is. You have to take it seriously, act like a business owner, and put in the same work that any regular business owner would, okay? So if you have any other questions relating to e-commerce, feel free to either drop a comment down below, send me a message on Instagram, whatever it is you want to do to reach out to me. I would love to help you out if there's something you're struggling with. You could probably find most of your answers here on my YouTube channel or just by searching on YouTube. So make sure to take advantage of the resources you have at your fingertips. Again, I don't really do eBay much. I don't teach it. The only thing I teach is how to start something on Shopify. You could easily move it off of Shopify onto a different website, but more of a direct marketing form of e-commerce where we scale via Facebook ads, we do paid marketing, and we can very quickly control how many sales we're bringing in. And that's what allows us to scale to $5,000 a day, 10, 20, 50, 100, and running these $1 million a month businesses. That's what I teach in our 30-day e-commerce academy, which you can check out linked below. If you want help finding products and building out a website, we offer that as well. Okay, so just check out the resources in the description. With that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smashed the like button down below and made sure to subscribe. With that being said, I post 3 times a week on here, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So don't forget to tune in for the next one. I'll see you then. Peace.